Welcome to Keeping It Real Talk Show. Your host, Tim Williams, and your co-host, LaGrace Williams. Now let's go into the show. Welcome back to Keeping It Real, second half of my life, my struggle. And the second half we have LaGrace, which is my co-host for Keeping It Real. And brought her on. We're just going to talk tonight. She want to share some things with us, and we're just going to keep it real tonight. So how you doing today, LaGrace?
I'm good. I was just over there with you.
I know you was over there with me.
No, we're just keeping it real.
We're just keeping it real.
I crossed over here.
Yeah, she just crossed over and got in the hot seat.
It's hot over here.
Yeah. So my life, my struggle, Maria told us some things about, her life, and LaGrace is going to tell us some things that, she has been going through, struggling with, because, I tell people all the time, don't say you ain't got no struggle, because we all struggle.
Struggle is real.
Yeah, you're going to have to fight to stay alive.
You gotta fight hard.
Because the devil will bring back your past and try to haunt you and try to stop you from getting to your future. He'll try that to, try to stop you and hold you captive. And, and I tell people all the time, LaGrace, is that it is your past that makes your future.
Right.
Because if you ain't never been through nothing, how can you tell somebody else God is a deliverer? You know what I'm saying? How can you have a testimony? You know what I mean?
Right.
So tell us a little something about yourself.
Where would you like me to start?
Wherever you want to start.
I was born August 27, 1984.
Well, where was that at?
I don't know. I think in Op.
In the big city of Op?
Big city. I was born here in Alabama.
Right.
My mom was married here, and she was married to a cop. I'm not going to expose his name out here.
Yeah.
And as a young girl, I witnessed her. She was married, and she was abused through him. So I witnessed this at a young age. I'm just jump on in there. And this is something I saw as a 5 and 6 year old. My mom getting beat and accepting it because she didn't stay. She stayed. So, long story short, she met someone else, and he swept her away. And so we moved away from here. Well, the thing that I've always dealt with was the fact that was never talked about.
Right.
We never talked about this.
Uh-huh.
You went from one to another, and thank Lord I've been able to forgive her now. But as a young woman, I dealt with that, so I can relate to you. I was mad.
Right.
So you left my dad. He wasn't my biological father.
Uh-huh.
My biological father wasn't in my life, but he was my dad that I knew.
Right.
So you left him, now someone else, and now you're taking me away from what I know is my life. I got a problem with that.
Right.
So I was a young girl. Everything I know was here in Alabama, my family, my friends, and now I'm moving 6 hours away to an unknown place. I mean, that's just, so I grew bitter.
Right.
I hated my mom, and I'm just gonna be honest. I didn't care too much for our relationship. It was dead end. We weren't connected. We didn't do things together. She bought me stuff. I took it. I grew up with a silver spoon. I did, because that was supposed to kind of take over for the things that wasn't there. Like my dad, he'd send the money, and I can get whatever I want, but there was still a void. There was still a void that new shoes and new jeans and whatever was coming out couldn't fill. You need that, So long story short, my stepdad stepped in though, and when he stepped in, he really did, and he became my dad. I love him so much, and to think that I'm sorry. That is my dad. He has been there through everything, and this is the guy that my mom left to move with, and I love him so much. He became my dad. Right. And when the Lord saved him, he just, he changed. And I thank God for him coming into my mom's life. So he taught me what love is supposed to be like, and even though I went on my own and did my own thing, right. My mom was strict. I don't know about your mama, but
my mom was like, go ahead,
girl, I had to sneak and do stuff. And it was just like, Mama, because she would come and show out Maria. She would show up and you can't go because your mama gonna show up, So when I graduated, you should have seen me running across that stage. I was like, I'm going to the club tonight. I'm going to drink. Whatever they let me do, I'm going to do. So,
Right.
that's where my life struggles began. I wanted the world too fast. It
Right.
came too fast.
So
And
pretty much you were like the prodigal son,
right, I went on out there.
huh?
I needed it,
You know,
So we
yeah.
was in the club, graduation night, and I was at the club from there on, from Wednesday to Sunday. But I was a college girl now, so I went to school, and then Mama still wanted to be strict, so I came back to Alabama. And when I came back to Alabama, I was basically grown, and I got pregnant. So I left home and got pregnant with my wonderful boy. Thank God for him now. so, but I got pregnant at 19, so my life stopped. I came down here to go to
I got
school.
pregnant at 19 too.
Golly,
Wow.
I told this is
So
my
similar.
vanilla
Yeah.
sister. This is my vanilla sister from another mother. But I got pregnant and my life just stopped. His dad met me being a size 7'8", and he left to go to basic training. And when he came back, I was like 200 and something pounds. He didn't want me. So I ended up struggling with my son and
So hold
raising
on, you
him.
was too big then, right?
I was thick,
You was thick. Oh my lord.
swollen ankles,
Your
everything
head
you can.
swole, right?
It's still swollen.
And
But-
let me say this though. At that time though, that opened up a whole avenue for insecurities.
Yeah, I was
Right.
You
messed
began to
up.
struggle with
I was,
insecurities.
I was
Yeah.
huge, and that just my self-esteem, self-worth just loved because I didn't realize what I was young. What did I do wrong?
Right.
We did this together. We had us a good bottle of ENJ, and my son's here. Lord, I
So
hope
it
that he
took
don't
some
understand.
NJ.
Hmm?
It took
Uh-oh.
NJ.
We're gonna edit that cause he's over there.
Yeah.
You do not come from ENJ.
I know.
No, he did not.
Okay, go.
Love.
I didn't say that.
Love. That's what we
Love.
thought anyway. But anyway, that was that, and I went through some struggles with him. There were times I didn't know where the milk was coming from. I didn't know where the food was coming from. My cousin told me how to get on assistance and get EBT
Right.
and get WIC and get everything that I needed. And she taught me how to, get a trailer, and I stayed in a trailer park, and I was paying like $13. They gave you a check to pay for your light bill.
Right.
So my light bill check would go to my son, and I just worried about how I was going to pay the light bill later. But it allowed me, and I just got to a place where I was tired, and I said, Mom, I'm coming home. Went home, and I took 2 bags. Well, somebody thought that I left Alabama and told the landlord. Y'all probably guess who he is. Not y'all. Not y'all. Not y'all. So told him, and my stuff was thrown outside. I struggled to get my baby stuff, and everything was on the ground. We had 2 suitcases in Kentucky. I said, you know what, I'm not going back. So I stayed up there, got myself together, met my daughter's dad, and he gave me the world. Everything, bam. Y'all can't keep shacking. I'm just kind of skipping through scheming, but skimming through. But ended up, long story short, met him, got with him, didn't know he was married. Found that out. So here I am, pregnant by a married man. I'm going to let her go. Y'all know how the story goes. I'm going to let her go. No. So for 2 or 3 years, he was still married. So I was an adulteress.
Right.
So, hey,
Yeah,
call
keep
it.
going with
I'm
it.
keeping it real. I was
Right.
I was messing with somebody's husband, had a baby. This is real. Somebody's doing that right
Oh,
now.
yes.
You
Oh,
need
yeah.
to
That's
know
right.
that this is the end result right here. You don't have to
Right.
remain like that. So I was with somebody's husband and living in the house with him. I was not only an adulteress, I was shacking.
Right.
So I have a story. So yeah. So we had our baby. We finally got married. Now the first time we did it, it overlapped his last marriage. And I should have known then the Lord was sending me a sign. But see, I didn't know God. So the second time we did it. And he was in the military, so he was constantly going to war, which left me as a single parent. And you guys know that when you go to war, you come back with different forms of mental illnesses.
Right.
PTSD was his. You come back, they let you sign a paper. You sign that paper. If you kill her, she dead. Ain't nothing we gonna do to her. So he let me know, if I want to kill you,
He can do
I'm
it.
gonna
hey.
kill you.
And I had to suffer through that, and he couldn't keep his hands to himself.
Right.
It became abusive, and every time he'd hit me, I'd get something new. Well, that became my norm.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? The last time he went to Afghanistan, I said, hey, you didn't hit me too much. I'm done. You can have your house. You can have your cars. I packed up what I could in my car, and I came on back to Alabama, and I've been here ever since.
Right.
I left my life of being a wife having money when I needed it to waking up one day with 43 cents in my account. I had 2 kids to take care of and didn't know what I was going to do. So drugs was an option. I was able to sell them. I was taught.